So we have a lot of really cool things lined up for the summer, from Florida to Michigan to Missouri, and actually there's some that are still signing up right now. We're still finalizing some contracts here as like the middle of May it is. And so I apologize for some of the last minute requests that we're throwing to you, but that's how schools are signing up. So we appreciate your flexibility and general awesomeness. At the same time, we're adding a lot of facilitators, so we wanted to take a moment and just talk about some cool facilitation moves that are natural to some and we're still learning, and then you might have some new ones that we need to update. So talking about some of like the small ideas of just like eating lunch with your participants, right? Like it tends to make a pretty big difference with people actually, or learning their names right away, or making sure that we put a lot of emphasis on those need to knows so that it's all participant led. So some of those things we're going to try to put some process to or a list to. So there should be a checklist in this email somewhere that you received. And then there's also a video following these opening comments. So if you have some things to add or maybe edit, shoot Sarah and Diane an email on that, or me, and we'll figure that out. But the idea is to create kind of a list of best practices so that we can continue to do really great things. And that's what we hear from partners. We have some folks that are lined up for 3 years now with some coaching opportunities in between, and they're invested, and they've done training with some other folks, and they think Magnify Learning is really high quality stuff. And that's because of you guys and the effort and the passion that you put into it to share your expertise with people. And it's making a big difference. So thank you so much, and take a look at this video.
Hey there, PBL facilitators. You guys are our PBL rock stars. We're glad you'll be facilitating for us, and we're looking forward to a summer of workshops with you. There can be a lot to remember when you're running a workshop, so we've designed a facilitator checklist to help you out. In this checklist, we're going to cover who we are and what we value. Then we'll cover some workshop best practices based on our facilitator feedback and input from our Teacher Advisory Council. Then I'll outline each day of the workshop and the items that you'll want to make sure you cover. That way you and the participants can have the best workshop experience possible. So Magnify Learning is a teacher-driven nonprofit organization. We're dedicated to expanding the use of high-quality project-based learning by offering project-based learning professional development. We do that in the form of customized open workshops, on-site workshops, administrative workshops, and after-school workshops. Our emphasis is on building relational culture and authenticity, and we really rely on you guys to help us do that, so thank you. We have 3 core values that embody who we are: culture, authenticity, and customization. With culture, we really believe in the importance of building that relational culture with and for educators with whom we partner, and that translates into their relationships with students and the community. When it comes to authenticity, we have a high regard for it, and we continually seek it out in our projects and workshops because we believe it leads to deeper learning, greater engagement, and passion. We value modeling project-based learning best practices and processes and ensure that all we do serves to put PBL in action. And last of all, customization. We're committed to providing a customized experience for the educators with whom we partner, and we want to honor the good work they're already doing, which enables sustainability of PBL in their school and district. Okay, so that's enough about us. Let's focus on you. Truly, you all are the ones that make our workshops a success. We pretty much consider you to be our PBL superheroes. We know that you all have incredible PBL powers. So I'm going to take just a few moments to cover some of the best practices for using those PBL powers in the workshop. So first off, facilitator best practices. We want you guys to try to learn your participants' names. We're asking that each site provide printer paper so that they can make a name tag, and that will really help with that. Greet them each morning, tell them goodbye each day. They're your class, so make them your class and make them a priority. Sit with or go to lunch with them if the lunch is off-site. Give some space to those participants who aren't buying in, but don't neglect them. They still need your attention and encouragement. Be honest about the limits of your knowledge and experience, your success and failures. Even Ryan's book is filled with PBL successes and failures, right? So we all have them. Don't worry about sharing them. If possible, bring examples of your own class PBLs in action, right? We know that we like to see examples, and that's the same thing for the participants. They're always asking for them. So bring access to those projects so you can share that with them. Provide access to resources that have worked for you. Again, The beauty of this is that we can collaborate and share all of the wealth of knowledge that we have. Know your audience, right? Know where they're at with PBL and work towards meeting them there. Try to find the positive in all ideas, even if they're crazy. And try to avoid spending excessive time with your favorite participants. We want everybody to get attention. Last of all, look and listen for participant stories. Look for the common ground. All right, so a little bit about professionalism. You're representing Magnify Learning, and we are so thankful you're doing that. We just have a couple of best practices around professionalism. Make sure you wear appropriate business attire for the workshop. Don't forget your name tag. That's helpful for participants to know who you are. Be mindful and use appropriate language and conversation during the trainings. And then also, we want to keep a positive relationship with your school. So please don't accept any assignments on days when you would be required or expected to attend meetings or trainings at your own school. Okay, so let's get into this facilitator checklist. For day 1 workshop setup, we'd like for you to arrive at least 1 hour early to get the workshop set up and everything in order. The first thing you probably want to start with, if you haven't been able to check in with your host, is a technology check, right? Does the Wi-Fi work? Is it posted with the password for participants to see and use? The projector, does it work? Is the agenda posted for everyone to see it? And then the sound, does it work with your computer, and is it loud enough for the videos? So those are just some technology pieces you want to cover when you get there. All right, the next is a supplies check. Check to see that you have all of the following supplies available. Chart paper, Post-it notes, small and large, markers, regular and dry erase board, printer paper for name tags. You'll make a name tag tent with them, so we're going old school. We're back to elementary school with that, but it's super helpful. Projector, breakout rooms for workshops, and then an attendance sheet for day 1 sign-in. So that will be something that comes in the email, and you'll want to make sure you have that printed off so that participants can sign in day 1, and then we'll get into what you do with that at the end of day 1. Also, Magnify Learning swag. You're going to put out the following items for every participant. PBL Structures and Stories. Woot woot, we love Ryan's book. So glad we have it. You're also going to put out the sticker, the notepad, and the pin. So make sure that's ready for them. All right, your host check-in. This is super important. Make sure that you check in with them at the start of the workshop. Ask about their initiatives so you can make connections to them throughout the entire training. And also ask about the timing of lunch. When do they want it to happen? How long do they want it to be? If lunch is on your own, then be sure to ask for suggestions of places to eat. All right, day 1 during the workshop. Participants are going to be arriving, right? So during that time, have some upbeat, fun music playing. Be sure to greet them as they arrive. Have them sign the attendance sheet. That's super important. You'll want to get everybody to sign that. And then have them make a name tag so you can start learning those names. All right, at the beginning of the workshop, you're going to want to establish an attention-getting protocol. Ask participants at the beginning to silence conversations as soon as they see facilitators raise their hands. If you have a different protocol, feel free to use that, but you definitely want to establish something at the very start of the workshop. That way you're not trying to yell over people that can't hear you. Social media. Be sure to pause and have everyone follow at Magnify Learning on Twitter. Have people take a picture of their table and post it at the start of the workshop. Share your Twitter handle if you have one. And then PBL tools. Let participants know about our PBL blog and podcast, the PBL playbook found on our website, as well as the other awesome resources that are there to help them throughout the workshop. All right, this is your guide for the workshop. So there are facilitator notes and prompts written in the notes section of the Google Slides. Be sure to use and follow those. They're really helpful with protocols and for videos. The entry event. This is super important. Be sure to tell participants to write down specific knows and need to knows while they're watching the entry event. We don't want them to miss an opportunity to actually go through the PBL process of identifying need to knows based off the entry event. Using knows and need to knows. Keep referencing them throughout the entire workshop. Design your workshop around the participant need to knows. And then check-ins. Check in with participants, right? Float around regularly to do check-ins with them during work times. And then with the host. Check in with the host often throughout the day. Ask if you're meeting his or her goals. Okay, so social media. We want you to keep taking pictures, posed, and in action, especially during protocols. Post them each day on Twitter if you have it, and be sure to tag @MagnifyLearning. This really helps with the momentum of the workshop and highlights the great work that's being done. Also, attendance on that first day. Ensure that each participant has signed in and filled out the attendance sheet completely. It's really important that we capture those names that first day. At the end of day 1's workshop, be sure to revisit the knows and need to knows. Help participants see what they've learned and what they still need to learn in the following days. Also, go over the project deliverables and gallery walk time so it doesn't come as a surprise to them later. Please run the workshop for the full time unless otherwise specified by the host. We want to give our participants their full amount of time and every opportunity to learn. All right, after the workshop's over, check in with the host to see if any adjustments need to be made for the following day. Please fill out the top section of the attendance sheet completely. And also, be sure to take a picture of that attendance sheet and email it to andreabailing@magnifylearningin.org. For days 2 to 4 on the workshop setup, please just at least arrive 30 minutes early. And also, as the participants arrive, make sure you have some of that fun, upbeat music playing again. Greet them as they arrive and have the agenda posted and ready to go. During the workshop on days 2 through 4, make sure that you're continuing to use the facilitator notes and prompts. They're written in the notes section of the Google Slides. Be sure to keep referencing the knows and need to knows throughout the entire workshop and design those workshops around the participant need to knows. Check-ins. Make sure that you're floating around regularly to do check-ins during work times, seeing the progress of the participants. And then also check in with the host often throughout the day. Ask if you're meeting his or her goals. Social media. When you get a chance, please take pictures, pose, and in action, especially during the protocols, and post them each day on Twitter if you have it. Be sure to tag @MagnifyLearning. On day 4, you want to have all participants fill out the feedback survey, and then days 2 through 4, end of the workshop. On those days 2 and 3, revisit the need to knows if there's time or address them the next morning. And then on day 4, you'll do the need to know mop-up. When it comes to the deliverables, on days 2 to 3, you want to make sure that you're going over those so nothing is a surprise for the participants. And then on day 4, you're going to want to let the participants know that their certificates of completion will be under workshop agendas. Just remind them that the password is Teach Inspired to get in there and that those certificates are ready for them when they click on it. And just one more reminder to please run the workshop for the full time unless otherwise specified. This is especially important on days 1 through 3. We want to give our participants all the time that we can. All right, days 2 to 4 after the workshop. Make sure you do a host check-in. So on days 2 to 3, check in with that host to see if any adjustments need to be made for each of the following days. And then on day 4, do a check-in with the host to see how they feel the workshop went and to identify next steps. So on day 4, you'll do that room cleanup, so make sure all the leftover supplies are gathered up, if there's any extra pens or notepads or books, and then get rid of any of the papers or sticky notes. Just make sure the room's put back in order. Okay, yay, so you've made it. After the workshop, then you are going to submit your expense report and digital copies of all receipts. Please do that within 1 week of the workshop so that you can get paid, and you're going to email those all to Robert Abrams. Then please take some time to fill out the facilitator feedback survey. We really value your comments and your insight, and we use that to improve every year. Finally, thank you so much for serving as a facilitator during our workshops this summer. We so appreciate you, and we could literally not do this without you. So get out there, have fun, and enjoy sharing that PBL love.
I'm asking if we could put our logo on a monkey and then bring it to like different weeks. Is that possible? Hold on, I gotta go. I'll call you back. Hey guys, so thanks for watching the video. We really appreciate it. Again, looking to find the best way to serve our participants, and the best way and the feedback we continually get is that the relationship they have with their facilitator makes a huge difference in what they're doing. We're trying to develop some coaching options where you guys can try to stay in touch if they do that piece. You can stay in touch that way. There's a new podcast that we've launched. We've got a couple episodes out there. If you would go to wherever it is you listen to podcasts and put in the PBL playbook, you will find some episodes. Would you rate and review and share that so we can get it out to some folks? Be sure to share the things you're doing here at the end of the year via Twitter or Facebook so we can amplify your great things. And summer's coming, so finish strong. Know that great facilitation times are coming and summer naps as well. Have a great day.